Hey you guys, what's up? What's going on? So I'm finally getting to my Empire recap. I was super exhausted the day that it came out, so I wasn't able to do it that day, and then today's Friday. So I'm doing it today. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to not do it, okay? Because it's on my DVR and I knew I was going to watch it regardless. So it's like, you might as well just put it up. Even if you don't get as many views as you probably would have gotten if you would have put it up the same day. So shout out to Melissa Sads, who was like, yes, loved it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this recap. So, yo, did anybody else find it super hilarious when Cookie was like, good to know Bo still likes his pound cake? No, she was like, good to know Bo still likes eating his pound cake. I was like, yo, that was hilarious. Eating pound cake, get it? All right, so Eddy, he sent the family a little gift trying to apologize, talking about some, he didn't really mean to blow up the way he did, blah, 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 blah. Trying to get back in their good graces so he can get back and get into their pockets and get their money. You know, it's crazy how somebody effed him over and now he's trying to F them over. You know, yes, you helped them out or whatever through tough times, but like, damn, bro, you know, that's the way you treat people. It's crazy. Hurt people. I guess that's what the saying is really actually true. And Luscious, he doesn't want Andre in the house around that time. They was having like breakfast and stuff, and Cookie's like, you know what, you need to get back together with him. You need to talk to him, because if you want my heart to heal, then you gonna need to have everybody here, okay? You gonna need to make sure y'all clear that, okay? Because everybody here at one point or another has wanted you dead. I mean, it's just hardcore facts. Tiana, she was doing the darn thing. I mean, she was going real hard, doing her practice or whatever, but she's changed. She's acting like real diva-ish. She fired the choreographer. She's screaming at the dancers. Like, she's acting like somebody totally different from the Tiana that we've been seeing throughout the whole season. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was just weird to see her kind of acting like that. Andre, he's still been doing his little investigating on Eddy or whatever, trying to find out what's going down with that. And they getting close to really finding out what's going on. Cookie, she ends up getting, one of her old jailmates reached out to her, came to the house. They kind of was catching up, getting memories. And then she also finds out that Pound Cake has cancer now. So she went to go visit her, whatever. And she did promise her at the end that she would try to find her daughter for her and bring her to her, because she's like, you know what, at the end of the day, your daughter doesn't even realize that it wasn't your choice. You didn't give her up or give her away. She was taken from you. And I think that that would be a great way to kind of, if you're dying, at least you get that one wish. Like, you get the biggest thing that's always been a regret of yours. And I feel like that's probably Pound Cake's biggest regret, is that she didn't get to raise her daughter that she actually wanted to raise. Despite of how the daughter came into play, how the situation came about, she still loved that child. It's crazy. Hakeem, he was mixing some music or whatever, and they had this white artist that wanted to like join with Hakeem or whatever, but he wasn't really feeling him, just for the simple fact that he's white and he feels like he don't really know his struggles. Like, his struggles growing up in Chicago or whatever is different from the white boy's struggles, and that's what he felt. Sean tried to tell him like it's not really like that, because he grew up in the streets. The streets is what raised him, so he has a different experience than most white people have. I feel like that is given, that could be true. But at the end of the day, if a white person and a black person were to have a particular issue, they'll most likely take that black person down as opposed to the white. I mean, that's just, we know this knowledge. Like, I usually don't like to bring race or, think about those things. But at the end of the day, that's actually true. But you can't deny somebody if they have the skills, they got the flow. So he was showing how impressed he was with Hakeem, how much of a big fan he was when Hakeem was mixing some music. And then he was like, you know what? Remembering stuff is not as easy as actually spitting some bars out there. So homie was about to leave, but then he was like, nah, I ain't getting played out like this. Like, I'm gonna show you what I got. So he came back real quick, gave him the 1-2, 1-2, did what he had to do, and he just like blew it off out the water. He was in this show that I watched too. That same white dude. He was in, it was like, was it Irv Gotti? I think Irv Gotti. He had this special, these short stories on BET. I forgot what the name of the short stories were, but it was like about the hood. Some was about like robbing people in the hood. Like, it was different scenarios that you would see in the hood. And one of them was where pretty much like it was a flip of everything. That was that was my favorite one. And it was the first one out of the series where they were pretty much reversing not genders, but races, where they were the people that were hunted and the black people were the people that were in high society. So it was crazy, and it was the black cops that was killing off the white people. It was just like one of those things where it makes you kind of think, like, imagine stuff was like this, like, you know, how would people handle it? It was crazy, but I liked it. Luscious, he tries to talk to Contessa, I believe her name was, which is Eddy's second wife, the one who hates Giselle because Giselle was the one who stole him away from her. And, you know, he was rich and everything, so she lost a lot of her perks and things that she had. And she blames Luscious for it because I guess he introduced Giselle to Eddy. So that's how she was able to sneak in there and steal her spot. And she's, I guess, a little freakier, a little wilder, a little less refined, you know? They be liking the freaky chicks. So she became the third wife. And, you know, she really wasn't trying to talk to Luscious because of the way that she feels. But Andre was there. And Andre, he was looking at her like, you know what, I can get her. Put me in. I'm going to shoot my shot. You know, tag me in, Dad. So he went in. He went and he kind of like, you know, related to her. I forgot what he said, but he related to her. She started giggling. She's like, you know, and then they started manipulating her and made her talk. Basically told her that Eddy was about to like do this whole deal. She thought that they all knew about this deal. Like, Eddy told me that you guys knew about it and that she was supposed to each be getting a cut, and they also had to buy stocks in the company. So it's like once it's sold, it will go to each of them or something along those lines. You know, I ain't with a whole stock business, but all the numbers and stuff kind of confused me. But yeah, it was something along those lines. So they pretty much told her like, oh, well, Giselle, did you get the same deal as Giselle got? Because she's about to be getting this, this, and this. So she like, hold on, wait a minute. I knew that he was a snake. You know, that's when you start getting upset. Like, oh, he about to give her all of that? He ain't tell me about all of that. You know, he made us freaking sell everything that I had in my condo. Like, you know what? That's crazy. We lost everything because of him. So, it was crazy, y'all. So she pretty much was like, you know what? That broke, you know, and then they're like, oh, so that's why. Because they're wondering what the hell is going on with this man where he's doing all this backhanded stuff if he's wealthy. Like, why he trying to take them down if he's so wealthy? But now they know that he done lost all of his money, and that's the reason why he's selling people broken dreams, like Tiana, which we're going to get to right now. So Tiana, she was going hard in the studio once again, and Hakeem saw her. He was about to go to the strip club with Shine and all of them, but he came back, and he saw her dancing and she fell. He got all worried. You know that's how you feel when you see Bae falling. You gotta help him pick him up or whatever. You know, you can't let them hurt themselves. You feel it. You know, you don't want to see that. So he went over, try to pick her up. You know, try to talk to her like, this ain't you. Like, you're really being different. And this is like the third person that told her the same thing, that she's acting different. And she's like, you know, I can't have any distractions. Eddy told me that he saw something in me and I gotta bring it out. And I have to be perfect and this and that. So he's like, so that's why. And it's funny because the two of them don't know anything about Eddy just as yet. So I know that when Hakeem finds out that this dude is a scumbucket and pretty much playing her out, he's probably going to be pissed off at him. He's going to get crazy most likely. But he don't look like he want to give up on Tiana just as yet. She probably going to come back running back to him after everything falls apart, you know? So we going to see what happens, but so he's like, oh, so that's why you was talking about you ain't want no distractions. See, things are starting to come together. She's like, no, that's not what it is. but I just gotta focus because I gotta make this. He said he was gonna give me, pretty much, he said he was gonna give her all her heart's desires, you know, like a little genie or whatever. So that's what she's focused on. That's what she's trying to get to. All right, but that was pretty much the episode. I mean, there wasn't really many things that was amazing, epic, and, you know, going on in this episode. So thanks for watching. Stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I will see you on the next one. Laters.